Okay, the reason I focus in when I go to make a video, the reason I focus in is because you focus out, you zoom out, you lock it, then you pan back to wide angle, and everything is focused. No matter what I do, everything's focused. So there's no, the camera won't blur and all that. I learned that from watching hockey games. And it works pretty good. Anyway, okay. You know, camera work on a hockey game. Anyway, okay. So I'm still in this the first Jesus I met in when I got my skins broke, but I didn't know it at the time. So at this point in time, I go to my mom's house in Chatham, and I spend the day with her, and we go shopping, and we buy groceries. I help her because she's getting up there, and she got to walk up 2 flights of stairs, so I carry her groceries up for the day, for the week, and then I go back to Windsor. So I'm there for the day, right? So I don't know, I think it was Christmas, and my mom was going to buy some Christmas gifts at the beer store or something, or I was with my aunt. And we stopped at the beer store, and the fucking voices are ringing in my head, right? I got my whole goddamn family in my head, and they're all talking, blah, 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 blah. And I remember I was really out of it, just like a vegetable, sitting in the car. So she pulls into the beer store, and there's a lineup, right? There's a lineup out the door. It's Christmas, and in Canada we have beer stores where we buy the alcohol, but it's slowly changing. So you buy beer in the beer store, and you buy liquor in the liquor store. I don't know, whatever. So I'm sitting in the parking lot, and all of a sudden I see come out of the top of the beer store, or the side top, the side of the building and the top up there, this brown, black, it was different low colors like browns and blacks and grays, the size of a car, and a big giant ball of smoke come out of the beer store. And all of a sudden I heard, and the smoke came at me, I think because it heard the chatter in my head and the spirits that were connected to me, and it came down on top of the car, and it was just going, and it didn't have no form, it was just a big ball of smoke, right? And it came down on the car and covered the whole car, right? And I'm like, and I can't even believe I'm wide awake, I'm watching this, and I'm like, it's around the car. And I couldn't figure it out. I'm screaming to the spirits, get this goddamn thing out of me. And they're like, get out of there, run away, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can't, I'm not driving the car, right? I can't drive this car. Well, not in the state I'm in anyway. I mean, I can drive. I did drive a lot. But anyway, this thing's over the car, and it stayed over the car, and it was trying to get at me, but the car was blocking it, I guess. Yeah, the car was blocking it, and it wasn't around me, and I'm calling for Christ, for Jesus Christ, and he finally comes down. Well, he comes down, and he don't say nothing, because I know Christ consciousness is where Christ is in me, but he's looking through me and everything. Anyway, he don't do nothing. I don't think he does anything, because the thing's still there, and it's like around the car, and I'm seeing it, and I'm reacting to it, and all I hear is don't talk to it, and they're all yelling at me, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, come on, beer store, come on, let's get out of here. I don't want to get attacked by this thing, and I could feel it. It was like, I could feel it. So I don't know if it was starting to enter me, but I'm blocking it, and I'm pushing it out, or I think I am. I'm saying, don't accept it, don't accept. But I can feel it, and it's like heavy depression, heavy, very heavy on my heart, depression, all the dark emotions and sicknesses and things. And I'm like, holy fuck, what am I seeing here? What is this? And I'm like, my heart's just going, right? And finally we get in a car and drive away, and then Christ comes to me later and says, that where I knew it right after that, as soon as I got out of there, Christ comes and says, that thing you saw was years and years of absorbing people's pain and sickness. So when people are having withdrawals from alcohol and all the pain and sickness that comes from the alcoholism and misery and sadness and all the garbage that people have because of alcohol, or withdrawing from alcohol, or they need to fix the alcohol, this thing goes around and sucks the energy off the people, all their misery and garbage. I don't know all of it, but that's what it does. It just runs around and collects all the fucking filth off the people. And this thing just sitting there for years in the beer store, and that's all it does. It just keeps collecting garbage, energy from alcoholics and stuff. As far as I'm assuming. I mean, it's in a beer store, so I'm figuring alcoholics, right? And Christ came and confirmed it, that it was an alcoholic thing. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just wanted all my misery and depression and sadness to put in with its own. And it's this big ball of everybody's garbage from alcohol. That really freaked me out. There was no face to it. I could hear it moaning. And it's sort of like, I don't know how these things get created, but I know Christs can create them. Sometimes they're just born naturally. It's like one little energy spirals out of control and then collects everybody's energy. And over years it becomes a big ugly. Now Christ can calm down and get rid of all that, like with a thought. But these things just keep going and growing and all over the place, all over the place. That's just one I got from a beer store that was an isolated case because it was a beer store. Like, people have these things around them all the time. Not beer stores, but their own personal garbage collectors. Okay? And half the time, that's poltergeists they get. But that's another video. Okay, so that was one thing that happened to me. I experienced. Another experience was, and this lasted for like months. So yeah, every time I go to my mom's house, she lives in an apartment building, and so I go to my mom's house, help her out, do all that stuff. And by lunchtime, I'd eat lunch, and the energy's popping out of my head, the voices are screaming, I let them go, and I go lay in my mom's bed and sleep for a couple hours, right? And because there's only one bed, hers, so I crash in her bed. And there was these, so I'm laying there, and I drift off into dream space, and I'm trying not to focus on the spirits, the good ones. And so I'm just focusing on me, and I'm trying to let them go. Well, get them out of my mind because I don't talk to them. And all of a sudden, I'm laying there in bed, and all of a sudden I see, just out of nowhere, these little kids come up, and they come up and go in my face, and then they ran away, right? And I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? And so I go back to my little fantasy, whatever, dreaming, and all of a sudden they come up again in my face, and I'm like, then I go after them, I chase them, right? And I go right down the bed into the wall, and I'm running through other people's apartments, in an apartment building, and I'm in like a tunnel going through the walls of the apartment buildings, and I'm chasing these little kids around, right? They're like, ah, and I'm not chasing to be mad, I'm just playing, like ah, sort of thing, just, fun. And so I come back, and that's what I do, and then I come back next week, and the same thing happens. The little kids come, right? And I think every spirit in the goddamn neighborhood hears me talking, my spirit talking, and the other spirits that I'm linked up to when I'm open to the spirit world hear what's going on, so they all come to find out what's going on. Some mess with you, like the kids. And so the kids are fun. They're just kids, right? It's like there's a girl and 2 boys, I think. And they're just messing with me. And so I totally forget about it. I go back next week, and I'm laying in the bed, and the little kids come. And so I'm like, you guys, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm trying to sleep, right? And then I chase them away, and that happens a couple times. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this doom thing, it was like rotten and evil. And all of a sudden, he comes up, this guy comes up to me, and I can't really tell the face. The face is contorted. Not really bad, but it has a human face. Like a biker guy. Like a biker. It looked like a biker. Like a mean fucking biker. But back in the old days, I don't know. He comes up, and he sort of like comes right up to my face, and his energy comes right around me. But I'm with Christ, so it's like bouncing off me, like it's like surrounding me, but it ain't coming into me. And he's going, and he's just saying rotten things in my head. And he's trying to taunt me. He's trying to do something. He's trying to taunt me into talking to him or bringing him in, right? But I just sit there and look at him. The good voices in my head are screaming, bad, don't talk, all this shit. And I'm screaming for Christ. This thing won't leave, right? And I'm trying to get, I don't know what to do, so I'm just sitting there and just going, you fucking cocksucker, who the fuck do you think you are, you son of a bitch, I'll break your fucking mouth. And that's what it's doing. That's all it's doing. Just on and on and on, right in my face, and he's like, I'll fucking kill you, you son of a bitch. Right? Like right there, like the fucking ETs, but a guy, entity, spirit, dead guy. That's crazy. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. Get out of here. Leave me alone. Don't you fucking tell me. Same thing. Over and over, right? And then all of a sudden Christ comes and the fucking thing leaves. And then Christ sits around, or he's around, and all of a sudden, as soon as Christ leaves, the thing comes back. So eventually I wake up, it's gone. It leaves, and then I go back to Windsor, carry on my life. I go back to my mom's again. The little kids are there, and here comes this damn ghost. And this happened, this spirit, this demon thing. And this happened like, must have been like 10 times. And so as soon as I got in my mom's bed, and as soon as it found me, it wouldn't leave, right? And I'm checking my own psychology, thinking, am I making this up? This has got to be, right? No, it ain't. This is it. I'm totally independent of it. And so Christ is like, ignore it. Don't talk to it. I'll get it if I can, right? And I'm like, well, get it. And he goes, he has to do something to you. He's not doing anything to you. As soon as he touches you, I can get him. As soon as he does something, he can talk to you till the end of time. He can say rotten things to you till the end of time. But I can't do nothing until it touches you. As soon as it touches you or disrupts your life, I go, it's disrupting my fucking sleep. You go, don't. So everybody's giving me shit. That's crazy. So, anyway, I don't even know how I got rid of it. I think it just went away, or Jesus made him go away or something. But I learned a lot. When this guy would come, I'd get information off it just by feel, right? This guy would work people in the apartment building, all this apartment building, and I think it got attracted to me from me chasing the kids. So when I was chasing the kids having fun, this thing went, what is this? I'm going to go get this guy. So anyway, I think that's what happened. Then, as I learned off this guy, what he was doing was he was controlling. I guess maybe I was a threat to him somehow. I don't know how. And he was working other people in the building. Like possessing them, owning them, sucking their energy off them. And he was a real spirit. And man, he was pretty fucking powerful too. Because he would do things. And he was just intense right in your face and you could feel it. But he would never touch me. He would fucking try to get me mad and confront him, but I wouldn't do nothing. I just sat there and listened to it, as annoying as it was. And the more he came, the more times he came over the weeks and weeks and weeks, I could see more of what there was a house across the street, a parking lot across the street, there was a house. And he was in that house also. I could just see him going there. And he was in that house, and he was there was a couple, and I think some kids, some teenage kids, and a couple, and they're, pot smoking type, listen to rock and roll, that type. And he was working them. I don't know if he came from there, but he was also working the people in this building. And he was like the alpha male of the neighborhood, so he would challenge every other spirit that would come around, right? And that's what he was doing. And that's why he was like the alpha of the neighborhood. And he was controlling and sucking the energy and manipulating the people for what he wanted. Sex, alcohol, cigarettes. Okay? Now, when you drink and you're attached to a spirit, as alcoholic, a spirit is attached to you, the spirit wants to drink, so he makes you drink. Now, his urges, you think, are your urges. So, you want to drink. But he's wanting to drink, but he makes you want to drink. I've had it, because my ex-girlfriend, she loved beer, and I ain't seen her in a year, and I'd be sitting at home going, all of a sudden, I'm craving beer. And it's her. Okay? She's trying to quit alcohol, and I'm craving beer, and I'm hooked up to her, and I know it's her. I know it happens so many thousand times. I even confirmed it with her. I go, just go have a beer so I can go to sleep, right? I don't drink. I don't care. I haven't drank in years, right? I had a couple this year and stuff like that, but when I'm craving beer, I know it's not me, because I don't even give a shit. To me, it's just whatever. Too priced, costs too goddamn much. I've never craved alcohol. And I know it's her. And same with a pot. I'd be sitting at the computer, and all of a sudden, just pot smell all over me. And I know she's smoking pot. And then I'll get on the computer, because she's on the computer smoking pot, and I'm going, hey, put the pot down. She goes, how do you know? I go, I can smell it. All the time, right? All the time. So I know it's her, right? And that's what demons do to you, or bad spirits. They attach themselves to you. Now, the spirit wants sex. He'll make you horny, get you getting off, and he'll just suck the energy. And then alcohol, tobacco. Tobacco's a big one. That spirits want a cigarette, so you smoke. That's happened to me. I got an awesome video for that one. And then so drugs, cocaine, all that, anything that you are addicted to, they'll attach. And so when you're drinking it, they move in, and it's like they're drinking it. They can feel it 10 times better or 100 times better. It's almost like them drinking it. But you don't even know they're in you at the time, right? You don't even know what's going on. You just want fucking alcohol. But the spirit is making you drink. He's giving you the urges. You think they're your own, and you'll go and get it, and you're already addicted. So he's just like, that's the way it works, man. That is the way it works. That's what this guy's doing to all these people in this apartment. Certain people. Now, let's say 3 people, or maybe 5 people in this apartment building, and the people across the street are all alcoholics that he's hooked up to. So all he does is go around, make all these people want to drink. Okay? He makes all these people want to have alcohol. So all these people got urges to go alcohol. They all go to the liquor store, buy alcohol, and he comes home. And they all come home, and they're all drinking. And he's right in each one when they're drinking. Sex, drugs, alcohol. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what goes on. And it's the same thing. It's addictions, right? So anyway, I was a threat in some way. And he was on me. He just wanted to get rid of me. And he wanted me gone. And I'm like, I ain't leaving. This is my mom's house, right? And I could have salted the walls, done all that, but you know what? Whatever. Just bring Christ down, right? And that's what I was trying to do. And Jesus, he couldn't, for whatever reason, I don't know. This is like the first or second Jesus I was with. So I don't know a lot about this at this point. But he told me he can't do anything until he touches you and fucks with your life. Then he can do something. Now, I don't think he ever did anything. I just quit talking to it, and eventually it went away. So, but I put I don't know, maybe he did get rid of it. But I come back week after week, and it slowly went away. And I didn't talk to it, and I didn't give it any drama. I just ignored it. And yeah, so I don't know what happened to it, but I hope he got rid of it, because that was a bad dude, and that was a bad spirit. And he was like alpha male in the whole neighborhood. So he had his little cache of people that he sucked off of, right? This is what I'm trying to say. He had his little cache of people that he manipulated and sucked the energy off of. And he liked these. Now, he didn't want any other spirit coming in and fucking sucking off the people that he had. So it's like he had his own specific people to suck off of and manipulate. He didn't want any other spirits coming around taking his people, taking the energy. Okay? I was a threat. I'm starting to remember now. I was a threat because I was with Christ and good spirits. And so he tried to get rid of me, thinking I might change his little, I might screw up his system in some way. But either way, this is what's going on. And that happens everywhere. It's like a fucking gangland in this lower astral. Every apartment building you see in the city, in the world, the people in it are owned by alpha spirits, just like gangs. This is my neighborhood. You can have that neighborhood, but this is my neighborhood. And they suck off each other. They fight and have little wars. These spirits. You got ones that like alcohol. You got like ones that like sex, child molesters, perverts, sickos, pedophiles. Goes on and on. Pick your drug, pick your thing, and it all goes on. And apartment buildings are just fuck. It's like a grocery store for these bad spirits. So you gotta be protected, man. And you know, if you don't know anything about spiritualism, your own self, your own spirit, you're confused and you're alcoholic. Fuck, they're on you and you don't even know it. You're thinking about alcohol all day. Meanwhile, you're having dreams. You're having this. You're having that. You're talking to the demon in dream space. The demon shows up as a little kid or a friend that's gonna go buy you alcohol, and you go, okay, come on in. We'll have some beers. He goes, hey, I just dropped by with some. Here's a dream the demon gives you. Hey, knock, knock, knock. You open the door. Yeah. Say, hey, man, I got some beers. Mind if I come in? Well, I'll share them with you. Fucking come on in. Well, you just let him into the house in the dream, and the house is your body. Now he's in you. That's just like that. That fucking fast. You wake up in the morning craving alcohol, and you're like, God damn, I'm going to the liquor store. And you drive fucking to the liquor store, get your liquor, come back home, and that's what you do. And the fucking demon's making you do it. I know it. I saw the whole fucking thing. I know it. And that's what's happening to you. People with alcohol. You could be an alcoholic and have problems, but you also got to talk about the spiritual side, and which one of these alcoholic spirits are sucking your energy, manipulating you. And if you got more than one drug problem, he could be squeezing you for more. And the kids coming into puberty, just starting to get puberty and starting to get horny and they're sexually exploring. Oh, they're fucking pervert ghosts. They're fucking on you, man. They fucking love that shit. That's what they love, man. They exist. They roam the fucking planet. These pervert spirits. That's all they do. Same thing, and they manipulate you. That's what they do. Alcohol, tobacco, pot, cocaine, heroin, whatever. I don't know all the drugs out there. There's a lot. But that's what these people do. So you need Christ. This is where Christ comes in. Christ is in you. The whole spirit world is bye-bye. You stay with Christ. He takes care of it. You ain't got to worry about it. You can deal with your problems in your body. And he helps you. So I don't understand, like, why you wouldn't. But people don't. Christ, whatever. I'm all that. I don't need him. Meanwhile, you're owning, you don't even know it. Oh, it goes on and on. All right, guys. So this is just a couple of experiences I had to tell you about. They were pretty... Yeah, it was like Gangland, man. He was like the alpha of all these people that were addicted to drugs, and they were his bitches. And he owned them, and he worked them all day long. I came in, and I was like a threat with Christ, and he wanted me out of that fucking building real bad, or I might start talking to one of his bitches. And then, do you understand what I'm getting at? All right, you get it. Okay.